What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, I wanted to try out the nerfed Bellibolt in Ultra League because I'm going to be honest, I feel like it is still a very strong pick. I don't normally run Pokemon with no coverage whatsoever. You can see this Pokemon only has Electric type damage, Thunder Shock, Parabolic Charge, and of course Zap Cannon. Now, while Parabolic Charge did get its cost increased here, which I think is going to make you run Thunder Shock more than Sucker Punch as a coverage move, I think it's still a very hard Pokemon to take down, very spammy even still, and I'm going to pair it up with Shadow Dusknoir as well as Corviknight. Let's get into the battles and see what this team can do. We got our game here. Let's see, Bellibolt into Momo. Okay, well, not a great lead matchup here, obviously, but my backline does have quite a bit of play here. And while Bellibolt is technically hard-walled by this Pokemon, like, Komodo is squishy. It could be worse. So, we'll see what they're going to do. They're going to go for an attack here before swapping out. It could be an upper hand bait, but I don't want to take a Clanging Scales, because that would do quite a bit of damage. Yeah, they do full send here, but my Astonish damage, honestly, is adding up quite a bit. And they end up coming in Ampharos into my Shadow Dusknoir, which is honestly not that bad, because I can go for a second Shadow Punch here before they can throw a Brutal Swing. So, you know, this is still playable. And we were able to bait this out, so I don't have to see it with my Corviknight. Alright. I'm going to shield this up. It might be a strange play, but I feel like it's not. Because I can just catch the Brutal Swing here. They have to throw it. And at this point, I can start outpacing that Komodo, and I can save the energy on my Shadow Dusknoir potentially for the backline. This Ampharos is no longer that big of a concern for me. Okay, there's that Komodo. And I can outpace here, as we were saying, to this first charge attack, which will boost my defense stat, and hopefully do quite a bit of good chip damage to Komodo. Not a lot, right? But like at least enough here that maybe this Pokemon has to throw 2 moves against us, but honestly, maybe not. Because Komodo does have a very efficient attack. There's a chance that Clanging Scales, even with the debuff here, could knock us out. Oh, nice. It actually doesn't. And now they have lowered their defense stat, which could also be pretty good for us. We'll go for the Parabolic. Maybe we get a shield. We don't, but maybe I can farm down here. Nice wait by them. They thought I'd try to snipe down with my Dusknoir, though, so maybe they go for a Clanging Scales. No, really well played by them. Nice patience. Oh, yikes. Well, we probably lose this game. Let's see what we can do here. That defense drop is actually costing me quite a bit of HP. Hey, hold on. We actually have the payback through here somehow. I think I might just win this game then. We'll see, though. Oh my goodness. Corviknight. Let's go, dude. Everything's in Sand Attack range, right? Do I just Sand Attack everything down? Okay. Okay, let's go. Love to see that. GG's. Next opponent. We got our Bellibolt into a Drifblim. There we go. Maybe this will be our first victim. ABA weak to Electric type damage. Let's see. Oh, okay. Hold on. This is pretty good for us, I'd have to say. We can immediately throw the Parabolic Charge to throw on good timing here. And the thing is, that Drifblim honestly is not that scary for my team. Like, Corviknight wouldn't love to see it, right? But it also wouldn't be the worst thing for my Dusknoir to see. Okay, we get a shield here. And now that I got an early boost to my defense stat, I think there's a good chance I just survived 2 attacks here from this Greninja. They're at 5, so 2. Yeah, look at that. 3. I can no-shield this. Throw in good timing after 4 more Thunder Shocks, and then get a second shield from this, potentially. Let's see what they do. Alright, big Parabolic Charge. We actually get a shield from them? That's crazy. Alright, I'll shield once, because at this point, I can go 1 and throw my Parabolic Charge, and I should be in a pretty good spot. A Night Slash makes sense. Okay. Well, that's a really good Pokemon to see. They'll go for a Stone Edge here against us, but that's fine. We can survive it. And now we have so much energy here. The big question is gonna be, do they come in with Drifblim or with Greninja? And I don't know what the answer is gonna be here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Drifblim come in, but they might just sacrifice their Greninja. But I still have a move loaded on my Bellibolt, so we should be really fine here. Let's see if it's on a Hex, potentially, on this Drifblim, too. I don't know if that's a good play or not. No, it is Astonish, so good to know. And man, these Astonishes are gonna just put them into range, where I think a Parabolic Charge is basically just gonna knock out. I think they do survive this, unfortunately, so I will have to show my third, but we're basically there. We've basically won. Yeah. I mean, can I ever Sand Attack this down? Maybe not, because Drifblim has a ton of HP. But I know for a fact I can survive a Shadow Bomb, and I can get to an Air Cutter and guarantee the win that way. Oh no, an Icy Wind. Now my Sand Attacks will still do 1 damage. Alright. We'll finish off this Drifblim here. Nice. Okay, Bellibolt. Putting in the Core Break. Honestly, their best answer was still, like, not even that good. I don't think Cobalion's necessarily good into Bellibolt, right? Next game. Bellibolt into the Komodo. Okay, it's another shiny Komodo. Wonder if it's the same guy. Probably not, but, you know, we'll see what kind of team they're running. Hopefully it's not double electric, because that was pretty bad last time. We were able to win somehow, but it wasn't amazing. Okay. Whoa. They give me a full sneak on an Astonish here. I wonder if that's going to let me flip the 2-shield matchup. We'll see, I guess. Oh, it will. Okay. That's pretty nice to see. I do have to go down shields to do so, but I think that's totally fine. Because Dusknoir's energy is very threatening against a lot of Pokemon in this game. Can't quite farm down all the way, but, you know, I'll take the shield advantage, or rather the switch advantage, and potentially get a shield back with my Dusknoir when they come in with maybe the Komodo. Oh, they shield that? Strange, okay. That also works. I get my shields back, so I just straight up win switch. But shields are down here. Maybe that's their plan, right? They want to get shields down so they can start throwing very high impact moves with Komodo, which also makes sense, right? Very strong Pokemon, just barely do not reach that move. But Corviknight should be able to absorb the energy here a little bit, and hopefully still put in enough work to win us this game. But I guess if I get 3-shot by Upper Hand, that could be kind of bad. We don't get debuffed early on, though, so that's good. Okay, and they have an Empoleon in the back, which is not going to want to see my Bellibolt. I gotta say. Yeah, we should be very fine here now. Just instantly go for the Parabolic Charge. I see no reason not to. We can farm this down, force him to throw energy against us with that Corviknight, or with that Komodo, rather, and then Corviknight with Air Cutter can easily close out the back line. 5. Alright. As long as 5 more Thundershocks knock out here, then I can get the farm down and have a lot of energy for the back. One, 2, 3. It's actually kind of close, but we can. Please tell me they don't throw energy. Don't throw energy, please, please. Yay! Okay, I get a Zap Cannon. It's not often that my opponents let me do that. Nice. Okay. We are able to close out this game. A really bad lead once again. But I knew if I flipped switch, Bellibolt likely had a lot of play in the backline. And my backline's pretty good against Komodo, so I'm able to flip another bad lead here. Okay, next opponent. Bellibolt into Feraligatr. There we go. Now we're cooking. Although, obviously, not like the best possible matchup in the world. Interesting. What I don't love about this is they could very well have Overheat. But I think I'm still just going to swap out here now. If they have Overheat, so be it. They never sludge bait us, right? Right? They never sludge bait? Okay, well, now we know they have Brutal Swing, so probably shouldn't have shielded that. Okay, well, it went over 100 energy, so maybe not the most optimal play, but it looks like what they're trying to do right now is they're likely going to swap out now into their Feraligatr. Or into Guzzlord, I guess, which is actually pretty good for me, because I don't have an answer to Guzzlord aside from my Corviknight. So I'm fine just staying in here and spamming out Air Cutters as much as I can. And we get a boost pretty early on here too, which I mean is not super unlikely after 2 Air Cutters. But that boost is going to make it so I actually do real damage now. A second boost would have been really fun, but I guess we're not quite that lucky. They're at 5. What are they going to do at this point? Because if I just start chipping everything down, there's almost nothing to shield at this point. 6, so they have back-to-back Brutal Swings now. I wouldn't be surprised to see them like throw back-to-back here and then swap out, but they might just be sacrificing Guzzlord completely. Alright. They're in range now where even my Dusknoir or my Bellibolt could deal with them. Oh no, a Brutal Swing. We should be fine now. Just getting this Wheezing back out is pretty helpful for us. Corviknight looks like it is so strong into their team right now. Okay, they throw another move, though. This is actually annoying. I'm gonna shield this, because they have so much energy here. I think I might as well. So I need to shield something myself this game. If I don't, then it could be a little bit tricky. But I think I might have opened up ways to lose this game. But we get a shield there, which is really good. If they shield this one, then I think I just win the game on the spot. If they no shield, which I would assume they do, okay, they do shield, that's really good. Because now I just have my Bellibolt in the backline against that Feraligatr. And I can survive a Brutal Swing here. Which they do unfortunately reach on 1 HP. That's fine. Okay. I'll go for a Shadow Punch here just to chip them down further into range where a single Parabolic Charge could knock out. I'm not sure if this knocks him out straight up from here, but it's going to be close. Nice, okay. And there's no way Guzzlord can knock us out with a single attack either. That was, like, a really roundabout way to win that game. It was honestly a bit of a tricky team comp just because the backline was pretty good into me. My Corviknight needed to do a lot of work, and my Dusknoir didn't have a lot of play, but luckily Corviknight needed to do work, and it did put in the work, so we were able to win it. 5th game of the set. Let's see if we can close it out strong. I think we're 4-0 right now. Bellibolt into Florges. Okay, there's a Fairy type. Gonna be an interesting matchup here, because I'm a debuffer, they're a debuffer. No, I'm a booster, they're a debuffer, so it's like, kind of back and forth with how much damage you do here. They CMP us on a Chilling Water, so I know this is not a Moonblast at the very least. Alright. I don't know if I really want to stay in now, but maybe I will. I think what I'm going to do, actually, is maybe let them throw another move and then swap and store some energy. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this could be a Moonblast if they have that. But if they don't, obviously it's just going to be like a Chilling Water, and I can survive that pretty easily. Even a Moonblast does not knock us out. We can survive that, store a lot of energy here, and come in Dusknoir. Okay. Well, that's not the most ideal Pokemon to see in the back line. I'll be honest, I've seen better Pokemon in the back before. But I mean, I think it's still playable. I think I can still dance around this a little bit. Alright. They're at 5, so they have another Crunch loaded. Let's see what they do. Okay, I think I just go, like, 2-shield through this now, then. As stupid of a play as that sounds, I feel like that's just optimal here. I want to make sure this Pokemon doesn't get a ton done against me. I don't have a great way to finish this off. And I think I Astonished down before even an Aqua Tail is reached. Dusknoir energy is generally a hard thing to get rid of. They could come back in Florges here, but I have 2 Shadow Punches I can throw into them. And I still have my Bellibolt with a lot of energy, so I guess we'll wait and see. Okay. Corviknight's not going to very easily be able to deal with this right now. And I have that move on my Bellibolt. That's why we saved it earlier on this game. I figured it would be pretty useful. We're at 11, so 4 away from a payback. Oh, there's no shielding everything. Okay, they have a payback now. I'm going to swap here to Corviknight. Maybe a bad play, but I feel like it's not terrible to do so. This payback's not going to do a lot here, and I can save my Dusknoir, which should be a little bit annoying for them to try to take down. Right, payback's going to hurt, but honestly not that much. Nice catch by them, but I'm fine with that. Payback still does a sizable amount of damage here to the Florges, so we can still dance around this game. Especially if they throw energy that quickly. What we have to keep in mind is I still have my move loaded on my Bellibolt. So if I just have 2 moves, I don't know what they can really do to us. That might have been a catch, too, on a Chilling Water. And if that's the case, they're in a lot of trouble then. Yeah, it was. Okay. We should be fine here. Alright. They have the payback loaded. This should knock them out, or get that shield. And they have to pay back us to knock us out here on our Corviknight, and they also need to pay back my Bellibolt. Yeah, they have to call a bait there. They know at this point that's the only chance. They need that shield from my Bellibolt. We're able to finish off this set with a 5-0. Let's cash that in. See where that gets us here, actually. Let's see. Not a bad set here. Bellibolt proving it's not bad, even though it got nerfed, right? Still such an annoying Pokemon to try to deal with. Let's see, gets us up all the way to 25-55. Not bad. Let's keep it going. All right, got our next opponent. We're going to see Bellibolt into Pangoro. Oh boy, okay. I don't know how this works out in Ultra League, but I would imagine it would be pretty good for Pangoro here. They go immediately for a charge attack, though, and I'm pretty fine if they decide to instantly throw a close combat. Because while that does do a lot of damage, I will still survive. They just Night Slash. They're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm kind of surprised with how they played this out so far. I think they go for another Night Slash here, but there's a pretty, 50-50 call. Well, I CMP them on this at least, which is not bad. I force a shield out of them, or I get a knockout. Okay, we get a shield. There's a Ludicolo. First one I've seen here in Ultra League so far, this rotation. Weather Ball's gonna hurt, but I think I can 3-shot here with Air Cutter. They're a little bit soft to flying type damage so far, so I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe like an electric type in the back. They're also really good against Dusknoir, which is kind of scary. Nice. That boost is helpful just to guarantee that my next Air Cutters will knock out. My sand attack damage, unfortunately, does not do too much to Ludicolo. So I will be forced here to go for yet another Air Cutter after this against them. They should be 1 away from their move. I'm double boosted here. I'm kind of tempted just to throw this. So tempted that I've already done it, but we'll see. We get a no shield. 8. Okay. I want to save energy here. Because I kind of need the energy for that Pangoro still. Oh, man. Bit of a miscount. Miscounted by 1 here. That could potentially cost us this game. But I should still farm down. And I have so much energy here. We'll see. They could come in Ludicolo. which they do. They have a Weather Ball right now. Okay. I think this is kind of fine, actually, which is weird to say. But I survive a Night Slash from Pangoro, so I should get a Dynamic Punch into them. Like, I should survive this well enough to astonish down that Ludicolo and win the game. Bit of a sloppy game by me, though, I'm not gonna lie. They got a boost. They got a boost. That's cheating. They're not supposed to do that. It's fine. We have Dynamic Punch. That knocks out the Pangoro. And yeah, they have 2 more Astonishes until they get a Weather Ball here. And we can just farm them down. Okay, there we go. So much play for Corviknight that game. Actually a really tricky lead matchup, though. So, luckily we were able to claim the win. Next battle. We're going to see Bellibolt into Astrodon. Okay. That is what we call a negative lead. But it's also what we call good for our backline, kind of. So, we'll see what we can do. Oh, interesting. This is their answer here to Shadow Dusknoir. This might be really bad, but I'm going to go for a 2-shield farm down and not throw a single charge attack here. I need Switch. And I think that's how I have to get it. They could maybe get DRE on the final move. We'll see. But I need Switch. Like, I just need it. Yeah, they're 4 away, so if they get DRE, I'm so annoyed. Nice, we get Switch advantage, that's good. They probably come back in... Oh no, they come in their final Pokemon. We see the Togekiss, which they're likely sacrificing completely here. Like, I'm at triple Shadow Punch, so we're still in a decent spot. Or do they shield this ever, just to keep Togekiss around as an option? They do, okay. 5, 6, 7. They're just going to instantly swap now into the Gastro, which is fine. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright. I survived 2 Water Pulses here in Ultra League, and as long as I land a Payback, I should be able to put them into a range where I can knock them out with a Parabolic Charge. Because unlike a lot of other Ground-type Pokemon, Gastrodon is not double resisting my Electric-type damage, it's only single resisting. So I think we're still in a playable spot. Alright. Go for the Payback here. Oh, we just get the knockout. They were hoping for an Air Cutter bait. Let's go. Really bad lead matchup, but again, that Shadow Dusknoir on this safe swap is just such a nightmare to deal with if you don't have an answer for it. Next battle. Bellibolt into, there we go, into Corviknight. Okay, fantastic Pokemon to see here. Full team has play into this, but this is by far my best matchup. We see a Shadow Malamar come in, which honestly is a Pokemon that I'm a little bit scared about. Don't have a great way to deal with this, but what I can do is I can shield this up, and I can go for a Parabolic Charge to either get a shield or chip them down into close to Air Cutter range. Alright, Parabolic Charge, let's see what we get here. Maybe a shield, maybe just a lot of damage. Okay, nice. I survive a move here still from the Malamar. Like, 2 moves, I should say. And they survive an Air Cutter for now. So, let's see. I do just want to knock this out if I can, so I'm going to full send a Payback. Maybe a bad idea, maybe a really good idea. Nice, we get the knockout. They come back in Corviknight, which makes sense, because they know Corviknight has almost no play against Bellibolt, and they might as well get some use out of it here. But I should get to 2 Paybacks against them before they can knock us out. And I think they might need a Payback plus an Air Cutter to knock us out too, so that could be good. But what I am seeing that could be a bit of a problem is right now I have a Dusknoir down shields in the backline, and that might not be the most ideal scenario to be in. Yeah, Air Cutter should knock us out, plus the sand attack damage over time. They can actually build up a lot of energy here. If I'm being honest, I don't like the spot I'm in. Unless I just have, like, I don't know, Annihilate in the backline and I RPS the heck out of it. That'd be pretty fun. Okay, they're gonna go for an Air Cutter here. Hopefully no boost, but even if they do boost, it doesn't matter that much. Bellibolt's still pretty good into Corviknight. Okay, no boost. They're gonna payback us, actually, which is pretty nice. Mainly because I was a little bit worried that maybe if shields went down, my Dusknoir would get paybacked itself. And now I can guarantee that I can just Astonish this down before that could happen. Okay, Gorgeous in the back. Not unplayable. We'll go for a Parabolic Charge before revealing our final Pokemon. And because they no-shield that, it might give me the ability just to, like, shield and farm through this. I'm worried they might go for a Moonblast here. No, they Chilling Water, which I feel like is extremely good for my odds of winning the game now. No shield again, because it's going to be another Chilling Water, right? Or Trailblaze. Okay. Maybe a smart play by them, but honestly, my fast move pressure is going to start adding up quite a bit against them. Oh, nice play by them. Get any little bit of damage I can here with my Dusknoir. We'll see. Can I win this game? Do I survive one charge attack here? I think I do. I think I survive a Trailblaze. So no shielding this is always the win condition, because Trailblaze would make it so the next attack does more damage. Nice. Let's go. That was a close one. Well played to them. Luckily able to pull it out despite not having a great Malamar counter. Alright, we got our next opponent. It's gonna be a Bellibolt into Malamar. Okay, we just saw this a second ago. A little bit of a scary Pokemon for our team to see, but very playable nonetheless. I'm gonna go for, believe it or not, a Parabolic Charge, because that raises my defense stat. Alright. Let's see what they do here. Likely a foul play, but they could superpower if they want a bit more raw damage against us. Did they catch? I didn't see a Psywave come through there, but I'd be surprised if they would have swapped out then. I guess we'll see. No, they didn't. Okay, so they're at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Well, I can just farm this down with Dusknoir if they stay in, so they likely will have to swap out here. I didn't really want to stay in with Bellibolt, just in the off chance Bellibolt has play in the backline. You know, like against a Corviknight or something. Alright. Well, I have back-to-back dynamic punches here, which are going to hurt quite a bit against this Corviknight. They're at a payback +1 right now. Unless they CMP'd us, which they actually did CMP us here. Insane play. But that's fine once again, because I can shield this up. Likely they don't bait us here. Yeah, so that's a lot of energy down the drain for our opponent. And we'll Shadow Punch here on what could have been a CMP, but I'd be surprised if it honestly was. I have a lot of energy here on Dusknoir. They do let that go. They have a catch opportunity on their Malamar, still left in the backline. We don't know their third yet. Okay, we know their third now. 5. And this is maybe one of the best Pokemon my team can see just in general. I'm fine letting a catch happen here if it happens, because then I don't have to worry about that Malamar anymore. We're at 7, so they're going to have to shield this. Yep. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. I'm going to save my Dusknoir just because, honestly, it's going to be really annoying for them to still finish that off. They can't farm us down. They need to Scald for it. And if I get energy here on my Corviknight, then potentially this Malamar is less useful. But they came in a little bit quicker than I thought they would, and I think they overfarmed here. So, I didn't want to CMP. But we still get the farm down here. And now we can just payback. And I think if they no-shield this, I farm down. And if they shield this, I can just either go for a Shadow Punch or a Parabolic Charge and win the game that way. Payback. Gonna get shielded, actually, okay. They throw energy here. It'll knock us out, but that's fine. We're gonna go back in Dusknoir, as that is a Pokemon that is pretty good in the Go Battle League. And we're just one away from the Shadow Punch, which should get the knockout. And unfortunately for our opponent, while Tentacruel is such a cool Pokemon in this current season, it's like, my team is just so good into it here, so I don't think they've really had much of a chance. Oh boy, final boss of the set. Lyle Jeffs III, running regular Malamar. Okay. Gonna be interesting to see how this goes, because we just saw the Shadow Malamar a second ago, right? It's able to do quite a bit of damage, but the regular Malamar here, a little bit bulkier, maybe can use that to his advantage by no-shielding attacks. Lets me throw first, which is interesting. Maybe he's gonna swap out. Okay, no, he's still staying in, which is kind of interesting. Looks like 2 parabolic charges are not quite enough to KO a Malamar. Good to know. Oh, but that is nothing to us here. He can outpace us, which, I mean, that's fair. That's what happens with this nerf here, unfortunately, to parabolic charge. I'm going to swap them, because I liked how it worked out last game. Even though this is the non-Shadow Malamar, I feel like the Astonish damage is still just so oppressive here that getting the energy lead against the Dark-type Pokemon that might be his Ghost Dancer could potentially give us some play in the back. Oh, interesting. Shadow Caesar comes in. Not inherently the best Pokemon for Shadow Dusknoir to see, but with my energy lead, it's honestly not terrible. 5. Okay, shield. 6. I'm going to shield this up myself, because Dusknoir here can actually swap out in just a second. Hopefully no boost, though. 7, 8. I have no idea what's going to be in the back, but I just have to hope right now that Corviknight has play into it. 9, 10. Nice, we catch a Night Slash here. So a little bit of wasted energy here by this Shadow Caesar, but it can build back up, and it can still be a little bit scary later on this game. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You see a swap out into an Empoleon. 5. Gonna be a close game. Because I can't get a second payback off first. 9. 10. I'm just going for any damage I can land against this, honestly, at this point. Just to try to be able to swap out. Okay, nice recognition by our opponent here. Alright. I don't know. This needs to knock out to win. Or to have a chance to win, I should say. It does knock out. Malamar likely comes back in here yet. Okay. And now I need to not get Bullet Punched down by the Caesar. Which is going to be a tall order, I think. Oh, no! Well played. Such a close endgame there, unfortunately. Just not enough HP left in the tank on Malamar. Or on Corviknight. One day I'm going to remember Pokemon's names and, like, say them properly. But well played, Delisle. That was a tricky one. Nearly came back from, like, a really odd neutral game. But he played that very well. I just didn't get enough energy lead on my Corviknight there. If I had a bit more energy, we could have won that one. Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say that Bellibolt is still here to stay right now in the Ultra League meta. This Parabolic Charge nerf is a little bit annoying, but it's still such a strong Pokemon. It spams out those boosting moves all the time, and even Zap Cannon, when you can land it, is a very powerful attack. So I think Bellibolt, as far as Electric-type damage goes, is still here in the Ultra League. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.